This is absolutely insane that this is a weekly anime that is long running with no breaks besides like forced holidays in Japan. It's legitimately just jaw-dropping. Like, I made a video last week talking about the whole Garp Galaxy Fist sequence, and this episode, the episode after that, just continues to prove what I've been talking about, that the One Piece anime is on an entirely different level compared to just regular seasonal anime. Obviously, there is series out there that are distinct and definitely stand out. You know, JJK as of late is a very good example, or Free Ren, but what I'm saying is that for the team at Toei Animation, and the staff, and the freelancers, everyone that is called in to work on One Piece to just make this series so consistent, and it is consistently good, and the art animation quality continues to just blow everybody away week by week. It is just something that is a modern day marvel. Like, it is just, it makes you wonder, how are they able to continuously do something like this? And it really does make me wonder exactly just the overall, I guess, production behind the scenes. Like, I'm curious about the overall production and just how healthy it truly is, because it's like, when you take a hard look at just some of these sequences, like, look at the movement here, the choreography of the movement with Kuzan and all that, it just looks absolutely insane. I wonder how long it takes for these episodes to be made. Like, I'm just curious on, like, how ahead of schedule is Toei Animation? Like, was this episode being made, like, 3 months ago? Was it just finished and, like, cooked up maybe a few weeks ago? Has it already been in the production and finished about maybe half a year ago? I really am curious about that, because it's like, this art animation quality continues to astound me, and on top of the story of One Piece just being at such a great height right now, like this Garp fight here, oh my goodness, like look at this frame here, so good. It's just like, it is a perfect combination of what makes anime just so entertaining. It's just, now, when people talk about One Piece, it is fully understandable why people say One Piece is king. Like, I've always thought it's one of the best manga out there. I mean, obviously, for argument's sake, you know, there could potentially be better out there, etc. But it makes sense why, in terms of the general, you know, audience, like the community collectively agrees that One Piece is easily the most popular in Japan, the best-selling, etc. And it makes a lot of sense. And when you throw in a very good anime adaptation that clearly has a lot of love and a lot of passion for the overall source material, it just, you get a product like this. It is just the overall love and detail that is put into these episodes is insane. I've seen complaints here and there over the years over these scenes, like people saying that the scenes of One Piece are a little bit over the top, or just way too much going on in a scene, and maybe for argument's sake, if I was playing like, you know, both sides, I kind of understand why some might say it's a little bit too flashy, but I mean, at the same time, we're reaching into the final saga of One Piece. This is the final stretch of the story, and so going basically, you know, pedal to the metal, you know, going as fast as you can, make it look as good as you can, is definitely something I think that would be on a high priority list for those that work on the One Piece anime. But my goodness though, this Garp sequence is just insane. Like, whoever did these scenes, like in these past few episodes, you know they're a massive Garp fan. Not just a One Piece fan, but a Garp fan. Like, I mean, this man's facial expressions are just so freaking savage. Like, there's a one little segment here where, like, he attacks Kuzan, like, right here. He grabs him. Like, look at this. He grabs him, and then he literally, like, he's getting in position with the choreography, and he, like, slams him straight down into the earth. And it's just like, bro. Like, absolute savagery. And I want to point something out, getting into the actual story of what's going on in the One Piece anime. You know, Garp is devil fruitless. He doesn't have a devil fruit. He's just using hockey, and advanced hockey at that. And it's just like, bro, this man is absolutely insane. Like, he's tussling with an admiral, he's tussling with Kuzan himself, and he's beating the literal crap out of him. Now, you can kind of argue, for argument's sake, while watching this episode, that Kuzan is wavering or holding back to a degree because he's fighting his teacher Garp, but at the same time, Kuzan isn't necessarily doing, like, very weak blows. I mean, he literally froze Garp right at the start, like, froze him solid, and Garp broke out of that like he was Whitebeard or something, and it's just like, holy crap. But, Garp is devil fruitless, and this man is tussling with an ex-admiral. And that's actually insane. It really puts a lot of credibility to just how strong he is, and that this really is the man that was the hero of the Navy that actually tussled with Gold Roger when Gold Roger was at his height, when Gold Roger was his peak. Garp was competing with this man, fighting this man, and it's just like, holy crap, when you see scenes like this, it really just gives a glimpse at what Garp used to be capable of when he was younger, but also the element of what Gold Roger was capable of. And from our understanding, Gold Roger does not have a devil fruit either. He is completely devil fruitless, and the fact that we're seeing stuff like this from Garp, I could not imagine the clash of hockey between the two characters and the devastation just to islands in general when these two had a fight. Like, holy crap. I mean, you remember, go back like, oh man, like 800 episodes at this point, to where Garp actually was throwing giant cannonballs at Luffy's ship, like the Going Merry and all that. You remember how ridiculous that was? That looks absolutely like child's play in comparison to what we're currently seeing within the story. And, you know, more and more I look at these scenes, especially in the anime, the more, you know, Garp really could have killed Akainu, most likely. Anyone that thinks at this point that Akainu would have, like, been A-okay if Garp would have had his hands on Akainu in the Whitebeard War, I think this says, you know, yeah, Garp would have probably killed that man. Like, just straight up give that man absolute, the biggest beatdown we have ever probably seen within a One Piece to date, if that would have actually happened, like in a what-if timeline, because it's like, this man legit just created a gigantic hole, like a crater, into the island, into the earth itself, and he literally called his attack Blue Hole. And, like, I don't think I need to explain what a blue hole is, but I guess I will. I mean, a blue hole is literally, like, a deep section of the ocean to where it's so deep the water goes blue. And the fact that Garp literally called his attack a blue hole showcases that he is so confident in just how hard his fist is. Just his fist. We're not, like, he's not using a devil fruit or anything, just hockey. This man's fist is so hard that he literally drilled a hole into the earth and called it a blue hole. Like, this man theoretically could probably wipe out islands. Like, just straight up punch an island off the face of the map if you really wanted to. And, like, when you take a hard look at this, this is like the endgame. Like, this is like an endgame peak of the fights that we're going to expect in the future of the One Piece story. Like, when we finally get into the final confrontation with the Navy and everything going on, obviously what's going on here, you know, this is a peak of what to expect. It is just, my goodness, man, it is so freaking good. But, let's back up for a second, and let's talk about something else. I want to talk about this Beppo scene for a second, because, Beppo, oh my goodness, my man, he absolutely tussled with the Blackbeard pirates and demolished them. Like, okay, I'm just gonna be completely blunt here. In the manga, Beppo was pretty cool with his brief scene, but they gassed this man up. Like, they straight up, they wanted to make this man look absolutely like a freaking savage in this anime episode of One Piece, because it's like, they gave him more flair, more scenes, just dynamic animation, and, like, it's so good, like, straight up. And this is exactly what I was talking about, circling back around to, like, the beginning part of this video, is that, like, the level of detail put into the show is actually jaw-dropping, because Toei Animation, they are obviously extending the scenes, and people can argue that the pacing is bad, but what Toei is doing in favor of just characters staring at each other and grunting, they're adding in extra fight sequences, more build-up with the punches to make them feel like they have more force behind them, really demonstrating the weight of these characters' abilities and what they're actually capable of. I feel like Toei has definitely gotten better with their pacing and just trying to lengthen an episode, but also make it have a lot of emotional weight. They have done a very good job. Like, just these two episodes alone, like episode 1115 here and the previous episode, I think Toei has done a good job and has mastered the art of slow pacing and making it emotional. I just gonna be honest here, man. One Piece really is at an all-time peak, and I really wish, when I take a look at this, like I really wish, like, the Dressrosa arc to, like, the Fishman Island arc and stuff like that really was given the same amount of love that One Piece currently is. I really wish it was, because every time I see episodes like this, it makes me sad that we didn't get some of the most incredible moments of the storyline of One Piece given animation like this. Like, imagine some of the scenes with Doflamingo and Dressrosa, some of the stuff in Punk Hazard, you know, some of the stuff in Fishman Island, etc. I feel like it would have done such a service to those arcs if it had the same art and animation quality as the current modern-day One Piece. But I guess we have to wait for, you know, Wit Studios to, you know, potentially get to that if, they do want to continue the anime and actually truly make it a long-running remake of the One Piece series. But I guess I'll leave it at that. I wanted to gas up the One Piece episode that came out this past weekend. I sat down and I watched it, and I was just absolutely blown away, and I really wanted to talk about it. But anyways, be safe, stay healthy, and I love you guys. Chibi out.